It's like spiritual foreplay. It's like spiritual foreplay. And, you know, you don't want to sleep on the things of God and a godly spirit. Have y'all read the book of the Song of Solomon or Song of Songs in some Bibles? It's a beautiful book to read. Yeah, I won't go off into that right now, but you know, foreplay doesn't always have to be or begin in certain other ways and in certain other areas, if you understand what I'm saying. It can begin with actions as simple as that. Being kind, being merciful. You'd be very surprised sometimes at what that will get you. I'm just saying. Gonna move right along to Proverbs 16 and 24. And trust me, it was so many other verses that were coming to mind and that I know I could have come across in the book of Proverbs, but he kind of made me pump my brakes because, you know, it's child and I get to going. I want to be here all night. But Proverbs 16:24, this is one of my favorite ones anyway. It says, pleasant words are like a honeycomb, sweet and delightful to the soul and healing to the body. To make love to someone's mind is the ability to use your words, use your tone of voice. Be transparent. Be vulnerable. Vulnerability is a beautiful thing because it's nakedness. Like when we get naked before God, that's our vulnerability to Him. Even though He knows everything about us, it's like that confession that we're giving. It's like we're being real with ourselves and being real with Him. Because sometimes I think we even try to play God like, I'm good. We like, But vulnerability and being able to just lay it all out. Lay it all out. Like the definition said, that personal, warm personal attachment and passionate affection. Affection is healing. It is healing. And when you're affectionate with your words, when you are affectionate in your delivery of words and unrestrained with expressing how you feel about your spouse, because you'll probably think, well, they should know how I feel about them. To hear those words in the manner that is loving and endearing, it does something to the mental, which does something to the spirit, which does something to the soul. It's like that domino effect, but it starts. And so there's an automatic submission with the body that comes with that. It's like it becomes a yearning for your spouse because of that. Because of that, your body begins to yearn. I'm gonna take this back for a minute. When we were in our other time, you know, and thinking about something that a person may have said to us, and we're like, that made me tingle. that made my thoughts go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Of course, that's the counterfeit version. It is, you know, no matter how much we try to put our spin on it or our play on it or whatever, you know, it's not right. It's not solidified and deemed right until covenant has been made, and that's who it is. And there's a flow in that vein, and I'm definitely guilty because I've, blessed God, you know, a voice, a voice, you know, saying the right words, you know, sometimes, blessed God, Father Jesus in the name. But when we do right and we solidify what it is with covenant, and our words are endearing to our spouse, that does something literally to the mind in a positive manner, which affects the spirit, the soul, and definitely causes what we would say is an automatic submission to the body. Unless they're in the wrong spirit. If somebody's in the wrong spirit, we have to pray about that. That's something completely different. But in the right spirit, that's what happens. Okay, I'm going to the infamous, well, the famous scripture of 1 Corinthians 13 and verses 4 and 5. You all, I'm sure, are very familiar with this. It says, love endures with patience and serenity. This is the amplified version. Love is kind and thoughtful and is not jealous or envious. Love does not brag and is not proud or arrogant. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not provoked, nor overly sensitive and easily angered. It does not take into account a wrong endured. You ever have somebody hurt you and it just like felt like a gut punch that just like took the breath out of you? And you were able to forgive that? That's an example to be able to do over and over and over again. Now, not saying the same kind of hurt, but just saying you don't want to continue to bring up. Love is not congruent with bringing up the same thing over and over and over and over again. You know, it's not to say that you necessarily forget it, and it's not necessarily to say that you won't be able to forget it. You know, God causes certain things to be erased from my memory too. But even if you don't forget it, you don't continue to bring it up. You know how you will see on TV oftentimes with couples, you know, you keep bringing the same thing up over and over again. You said you forgot about it, but you keep bringing it up. And that happens. It happens in real life. I'm guilty. I've done it before too. I've done it before, but I'm learning that it doesn't help. It doesn't help. It's like peeling a scab off of a healing wound, or a wound that's trying to heal. Like, allow it to heal. Don't keep bringing the same thing up. And if you can't, I'm not going to say to walk away because of that, but, you know, in a relationship prior to marriage or something of the nature, if you can't, you know, get over it, then release yourself from it. Release yourself from that. But it is not rude and it is not self-seeking. And I don't want to, and I'm not going to go too deep off into this because I want to be careful with my words with this. But in the act of love, in the act of making love, whether it's mentally or physically for, you know, couples, not being self-seeking, but seeking to please your spouse. You ever just wanted to please somebody to the point where you become pleased by pleasing them.